Yeah, okay,
Welcome to
Good
Sandbox
clutch.
Sports.
let's go.
Three lifelong friends, knew each other since the Sandbox days, talk ball. I'm Buddy Shear. We got Dean Richter, and we got Joshua Whitlow here. Sorry for the 4 year gap. We had a little technical difficulties, but we're back. So, for further ado, conference finals. They just wrapped up. Thunder Spurs, great series, went to 7 games. Had a few questionable performances in game seven. Dean, you want to take us off from there?
Yeah, I'll say I think to me what the Thunder Spurs series represents is that going forward, I think every team needs a designated Wemby stopper. All right. And I think the Thunder are the perfect example of this. You could say that they were the best team during the regular season. Lots of talent. But I mean, let's be honest. Wemby made a third all NBA big man look like a third stringer. You know, he made Chet look ridiculous. At the end of the game, I don't even think Chet was playing. So I think that what that series tells me is that the landscape of the NBA has changed, and every single team, at least in the West, is going to have to specifically account for Wemby because I think on paper the Thunder had the better roster by far. They had the more playoff experience. They had the MVP. They had home court advantage. They had everything going for them. But at the end of the day, the Spurs had the best player in the series.
Yeah, bro. Like Chet Holmgren, not even on the floor at the end of the game. 4 points, 33 minutes. I mean, my guy was just doing cardio out there. Only 4 rebounds. Like he really wasn't doing a whole lot of anything. I don't know if they have to. I don't know how many Wemby stoppers there are out there. I mean, who would you even classify as a Wemby stopper right now, Dean? Who
Well, and that's the tough thing.
does it exist?
The
Is there
question is,
one?
does it exist?
Do you
Maybe
think kids are
not.
going to grow up being like, I want to be the Wemby stopper?
I mean, at this point they might, but I'll tell you one thing: sure as hell Chet is not. There will be better matchups against Wemby than Chet. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know someone like Jaren Jackson Jr. 7-0 against Wemby. Okay. So you at least need someone that can be more physical. You're not going to stop Wemby, but you can slow him down by putting a big man that can be more physical. And I mean, Chet is like a stick man. He's a
Well,
stick.
we did see that a few games throughout the series. They put Hartenstein on him a few times, and he was roughing Wemby all the way up. He actually was able to slow him down a few
Yeah.
games,
You
but
know who else was able to slow him down at the beginning was they put Caruso on him and he was giving
yeah,
him work
Caruso is a
until he kind
great.
of figured it out at the end. But
I want to touch about Caruso in Game Seven. I mean, he had an amazing series, but Game Seven, I forget how many times he shot, but it was over 10 shots, and he did not hit many. I mean, he was a big reason why they were not able to win Game Seven.
he was
Besides
very
Chet, obviously, but Caruso had a bad game.
he started off the series with 31, 17, and then 15, and then a 0, 22 points, and then 7 and 12 to end. So, I mean, at the beginning, he was such a big part for them, but then I don't know if it's the Spurs kind of figured it out, but yeah, he went 1 for 6 from three, 3 for 14 overall in
Yeah,
game seven. They're
terrible.
not going to win when he's doing that. And I don't think it was their plan for him to be such a big part of that series. But especially when J Dub doesn't come back, somebody else has to step up. Him and McCain were really the bright spots, I think, for the Thunder off the bench.
McCain has stepped up. I will say that.
He had a big series.
Yeah, he had a good series. But what do you think the Thunder will do during the offseason after this loss in the conference finals?
Well, they will get J Dub back. I think that's big. I think if they have him healthy, I think they win that series. But they got to figure out what's going on with Chet Holmgren. I mean, in theory, he's your four every game, but that's gonna be tough to overlook. I can't lie. I mean, he was scared early in the game. Wemby punched one on him, like I think like 2 minutes into the game. It was pretty much wraps after that. Like he was done. He didn't want to play basketball, and they're paying him. It's not like he's not making any money. He's on like a max
He's
contract,
probably
so
making a
that's a
big contract
problem.
next
What
year.
like 5 year, 220 or something. So
It's going to be 50
they
something a year. Yeah.
they got it. Like I've seen a lot of parallels. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but basically, like this could be like his Ben Simmons moment, and Like this kind of happened to Ben Simmons. A lot of people, though, I will say in that game, Ben Simmons damn near had a triple double still. So I mean, that's one of the worst
Are you
playoff
referring to the game
performances
where against
of
the
all
Hawks
time.
and he didn't take the
Yes,
layup? Yeah,
yes, and kind of from that point on, he
never the
was
same
never the
player.
same. Do I think? I don't think. I think Chet's a better player than Ben Simmons, but everybody like opening night even everybody's going to be watching Chet. I still think he's a Thunder guy, and obviously they're standing by him, but he has to figure that out because he's going to be playing against Wemby for the next 10
Yes,
to 15 years. Like it's not
I
going away.
I think he will. I think he'll figure it out. Chet's a great player, good player. Wimby's just better. Wimby is just the best. Well, Wimby is an insane player, and he won the matchup. He won the battle. He won the war. He made him flustered. He made him scared. But Chet's still young. What? It's like his third or fourth year in the league. He still has time.
Yeah.
He's all. I mean,
I mean,
he's gonna be fine. But
talk about talk about Wemby though. At the beginning of the series, he got a little, I'd say a little bit of hate because they asked him on if he took the not winning the MVP personal. He was like, yeah, for sure. Everybody kind of at the beginning, hey, maybe that's a little corny, bro. Go win the series. And then he did. Like
yeah,
at some point, I mean, he put his money where his mouth is. Obviously, game one
game one he
is
put it on notice.
one of the greatest playoff performances ever. 40-20 game. He took
Unreal.
that 35 footer from right where Steph did like 10 years ago. I mean, Wemby, this was like he's had a lot of impressive performances in his career already, but like this series put him like he is here. He's arrived.
Dean, you have any closing
Yeah,
remarks on the series before we go to the Cavs and Knicks?
yeah. The last thing I want to say is I think for Sam Presti and the Thunder, they just can't be complacent, right? I mean, the Spurs are going to be better next year than they were this year. And at least for me, the second that they decide to put Dylan Harper as that starting point guard, let him be the quarterback of that offense, they're going to be in better shape. All right. Once we get De'Aaron Fox off the bench, they're going to be in a better spot. Okay. They're all getting better. And for me, the Thunder have a war chest of assets. And I don't think necessarily the thing that they need to do is to trade Chet or trade J-Dub or whatever, but you need to use that to fill in the gaps of this team. Because I think you're right. When we were talking, you all were talking earlier about Caruso. Caruso should not be a top three off an option in an offense in an NBA conference final series, and that's what happens when AJ Mitchell and J Dub get hurt, which is unfortunate for them. But I think they're going to have to, add to this team with their assets. Do not make those two picks in the first round. At least, I think they have two top 20 picks. Don't make those picks. You don't need them.
Well, they'll get pick 12 and
For me,
17.
unless you're trading up to get Yaxel or something, then a lot of these guys are just not going to be NBA ready in the first year. So I think that they need to do that. Yeah.
All
But
right.
I think now we can shift over to the Cavs Knicks series. It wasn't much of a series. I honestly kind of forgot it happened because it was so short. So, what do you all think of the series? And then what do you all think the Cavs should be doing next after that just mollywhopping by the Knicks?
So I also kind of forgot the series happened. It happened what, like ended like a week and a half ago.
Like a week and a half ago.
Um, I was a little surprised by the Cavs. I thought they were a better team than this. They had a tough series, game seven with the Pistons, whatnot. But I'm shocked. James Harden was a playoff flopper this year. Then that's been kind of his narrative his whole career. But this year, it really like stuck out. I mean, it was the media narrative, it was everything. So I don't know what they do with him because they were a better team during the regular season after they traded Garland. They were better with Harden. Donovan Mitchell's a stud. Evan Mobley's a stud. Jared Allen's a stud. They have players. So I don't think they should blow it up just yet. I would explore options with Harden, see if you can get him out of there and see what you could get with back in return. Or I mean, maybe you just run it back one more year with Harden, but you don't have him as ball dominant. I mean, because his turnovers were bad. Um, it cost him a lot. But props to the Knicks as well. I mean, they won like they have the most point differential in NBA playoff history. It was like 19 points per game. They've been dominant all playoff run. I mean, it wasn't just against the Cavs. So I think they just ran into a juggernaut in the East this year. I kind of agree bringing back their coach. He's a decent coach. Let him bring him back one more year. I know there's rumors about LeBron, but we'll see what happens with that. Um, but if I'm Cleveland, I'm trying to go into next year with the same core.
Yeah, the thing is that I mean, at times Harden was bad, but he really wasn't that bad this series. He 15, 18, 19, 12. But I think where you're saying too is ball dominant. They were kind of expecting him to be more than that. And in the regular season, he had a hell of a season. 24 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, 8 assists a game. I mean, for a 36-year-old James Harden, that is one of the better that's one of the best seasons from a 36-year-old of all time. I mean, he was awesome for them. He's a big reason of why they got to this point. I mean, he had 20 points 4 times against the Pistons in that series. So I think though that I mean he'll be 37 by the time next season starts. I think they have to get him a little bit more help coming off the bench. I still think he's a starter, but I don't know that I don't think he needs to be scoring 24 points a game. I think part of that is why he kind of ran out of gas in the playoffs and there's nothing wrong with that. They gotta beef up their guard depth. Um, Donovan Mitchell was great in this series, almost 30 points a game in this series. Like you said, Allen is a stud, Mobley is a stud, but I think they just need to get more scorers off the bench as well to help. It's really
Both
those
players
four
could not be
guys
game.
and Allen and Mobley aren't really scorers. So you're really banking on, I mean, in that series for them to have even been competitive, Mitchell would have needed to score like 40 every game. From his perspective, I'd be pretty frustrated. I mean, you finally break through to the conference finals and it looks good. And I mean, I think a lot more people, I mean, including most of us, thought it at least would go like maybe 5 or 6. But to get swept like that and for most every game to be non competitive, that's got to be frustrating. I'm sure Mitchell is going to be on the front office this summer, as he should be, to kind of beef things up, or they're at a real risk of this window just kind of being closed.
It was definitely over after they blew that 22-point lead game
Yeah,
one.
you can't do that. And then they were
Um,
just broken.
yeah,
And the Knicks just have so much scoring depth. I mean, those guys don't they can spread it around so much.
Yeah, I actually disagree with both of you. I think if the Cavs put out this core next year, it's like putting a fish on sand and asking it to swim. Okay, it's just not going to happen. The Cavs ceiling was the conference finals. I mean, I love me some James Harden. I would love to see him win a ring. He's not winning a ring in Cleveland. Okay, bench scoring is not going to fix this. All right. Adding a starter is not going to fix this. I love Donovan Mitchell. Is he good enough to be the best player on a championship team? I don't know at this point. I mean, Mobley, Allen, Harden, like they don't have wings. Who are their wings? You don't have any wings, and
They don't really.
you can win an NBA championship without elite wings, but it really is tough. It is really tough when you don't have a top 10 player on your team anyways, and no
They're
one's going to be that top 10 player. The issue is they can't even blow it all up because the Grizzlies have potentially their first round pick, right? It depends which one is better between the Cavs, the Lakers, and the Jazz, but they don't even have their first round pick next year. So they have to stick with this core, but they're just not good. And I mean, the only reason they're in the conference finals is because the East was weaker this year, right? I mean, Giannis was a non-factor. The Cavs were super injured. The Pacers were super injured. This team will not be in the conference finals this next year. This team probably won't even be in the semis. I mean, I don't even think LeBron could bring this team back to the finals. So,
okay. Watch it.
I mean, he
now,
couldn't.
now
He
that I'm
couldn't.
looking at it, I pull up the thing. Their top I know it's a little more positionless these days, but in terms of wings, the only two real wings they have listed here are Max Struess and Dean Wade.
That's
That's a
bad.
problem. That's a
I thought
problem.
I thought Tyson played as a wing.
Yeah, he's averaging 4.1 points a game.
Yeah, he's
So
young, but yeah,
he's not
no.
doing that much.
Yeah, they're
I
both
mean, they
players.
need him to take
Max Strus was not helping them out this series at all.
no, I think he's kind of, I mean, he had a little bit of a prime there, if you will, but he can't carry the scoring load like he did in the Heat when he was there with the Heat for a couple games. Like they need a scoring wings and probably multiple of them. Mostly also because,
And
yeah, their big men don't score that many points.
yeah, and you
They're
also need
good.
at Yeah, US also need a wing at least that maybe could defend a two or an elite one because I mean, you're going against Jalen Brunson, maybe you want to stick somebody on him that's gonna do the job a little bit. And it's not like Brunson had his best series against the Cavs.
No.
But I don't know. I love Harden, but you definitely have to work around him to cover up some of those defensive flaws. And I mean that they have great interior defense. I mean Mobley and Allen are just ridiculous. But I mean you're wasting that a little bit if you're not going to be as good on the outside. I think the Knicks torched them from three the entire series.
A
So
little off tangent, but do you think if they had the option to do that Darius Garland Harden trade again, would they?
mm, maybe.
100% they do it. They do it 100%. I love Darius Garland, but what they got out of Harden this year, granted, I know he's old, but I think Garland's contract is expiring soon. So, and I don't think he was very happy there, anyways. I think you do that every time, especially. I know it sucks now, but they got to the conference finals. Like at the end of the day, that is something. It's not everything, but I think you do it.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well,
Let's talk
switching
about the
gears
Knicks.
to the Knicks.
Yeah, we have to talk
Um,
about the Knicks.
yeah. So the Knicks, I mean, just wow. I've never been that big on the Knicks, but they've been very impressive this series. They've been insane. They've been dominant. They've breaking records. They have the most average margin of victory ever in the
Over
playoffs.
like almost 20 points a game. That's
It's insane.
crazy.
It's insane. That's with losing like two to the Hawks as well.
Yes.
Um, Sweeping the Sixers, honestly, not too impressive to me, even though they beat the Celtics. The Sixers, they ran out of gas. They ran out of juice. Paul George is old. Embiid's been hurt. Like, it was just,
The Sixers overachieved this year given their
yeah,
situation, anyways.
yeah. But the Knicks are good. They're just deep. I mean, one through five, they have guys who can go get you a bucket, who can go get you a stop, except maybe Brunson. They just, they're a really well coached team. They're a deep team. They also have a lot of chemistry. This is what, their like third year together for most of the core. They're a solid team.
Let's think about this. It is currently June 2nd as we're recording this. The last time the New York Knicks lost a basketball game was April 23rd. They haven't lost a basketball game in basically a month and a half. I mean, that's unreal. They've won 10 in
Wow.
a row, and it has just been unreal. I mean, they've gotten performances from everybody. You look at their leader in points throughout these last few games. You have Anunoby, Brunson, McBride gets on there, Hart gets on there, Towns gets on there. Five different people have led them in scoring over the last 10 games. That just shows their depth. Obviously, the core guys, Hart, Brunson, and Bridges, they all played at Villanova together. I think that's very evident. It kind of feels like a college team. And I think that chemistry has kind of allowed. I didn't know how it would work out at the start with Carl Anthony Towns because he's kind of a more unserious type of guy. Like had a little bit of struggles in the Timberwolves in terms of fitting into that culture, and they had their own issues. But I think that group has kind of allowed Cat to kind of fit in and be a part of that. Like if you zoom out, I feel like it kind of feels like he went to Nova with them. He's really gelled with that group, and I think it's made him better as well. So they're just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I think the Knicks are a perfect case study of a team when you have elite wings, you have a center that can shoot, and then you have an elite superstar point guard that can take over in the fourth quarter. Buddy can have a reaction to that, but I'd like him to name like three better point guards in the NBA than Jalen Brunson right now. I don't think he could. So, I mean, the Knicks they're just a perfectly assembled team. They have a top three player or some like, a Wimby? No, they don't. But I mean that it's just team building 101. And I think, we talked earlier, but he's talking about the Sixers getting tired. And you're right, that's a grueling series against the Celtics. I completely agree. But also the Knicks make teams tired because they just everyone on offense can score. I mean, there's not really a lot of people on the Knicks that you can just leave in the corner and just have them sit there and do nothing. You have to play elite defense against all these guys. They can all score and they all play defense. Obviously, Brunson's not, Mikal Bridges or Cat, but, they all, for the most part, play defense at really high levels. I mean, just I don't think any of the games against the Cavs were even single digit scores. It was just it was just bad. They just don't lose. The Knicks don't lose. So, yeah, so buddy, before we move on to our finals predictions, you had a very animated reaction to the Brunson being a superstar. Is there a reason for that, or do you want to, and then you can get into your finals pick?
Okay. Yeah, I'll lean him into that. Um, I don't think Brunson can be a one on a championship team. He is just not that guy. He is a stud. He is amazing. He is maybe my words multiple times, but I still do not believe that Brunson will ever win a championship as the one. Maybe the two. It's just no. I mean, I'm taking. You asked point guards who are better than him. Give me Luca, give me Halliburton, and give me Curry. I'm taking all those guys over Brunson every day. They are different. Brunson is not. Brunson is also a traffic cone on defense. He is 6'2", never going to dunk. Like he is not a guy that I want leading my team every single night. Now, they did build a team really well around him for him to have the maybe if they play amazing, they can win the championship against the Spurs. But that's who I'm going with. I'm going with the Spurs in the finals. They have been insane. Now I am a little worried about the matchup. They split the series this year 1-1, and the Knicks beat them in the in-season tournament pretty handsomely as well. I don't know though. Still, after what we saw in this Spurs Thunder series, who's going to stop Wemby? That Wemby stopper. I saw OG might be guarding him. Come on, come on. OG's not guarding Wemby, guys. That's just ridiculous. And if OG's guarding Wemby, who is Cat guarding? Cat's like no, like it's not going to work. They're going to be able to terrorize down low, in my opinion. They're going to have to hit some threes, some shots down late, which the Knicks are good at stopping, and they also love shooting the three ball. But the Spurs defense, I'm not worried about it. I think Stephon Castle will be able to hold Brunson in check. Um, and then I got the Spurs winning in six, with the Finals MVP being Victor Wembanyama. Props to the Knicks though. Great series or a great year, great playoff run, but I don't think they have enough what it takes to beat the Spurs.
That's pretty crazy. You wouldn't want a guy leading your team every night that got them to the finals. I would be okay with that personally. But I think we take a look out from if you look at the odds from the books, they're giving the Spurs are minus 205 to win the finals. That feels a little heavy to me, considering it's the perfect like they obviously have the best player, an anomaly that I don't know who's going to guard him. But the Knicks, the one thing the Knicks have going for them is that they are a lot older than the Spurs. They are a lot more experienced, yet not necessarily because they don't have a ton of playoff experience, except outside of the last 2 years. But it's still more than the Spurs. So I think we'll see if that really matters down the stretch. But bottom line is the X factor in this series. I think we're going to get what we get from the Knicks. I think they're going to play. I think they're going to play just as well as they have the last 10 games. But I just don't know how they stop the alien. I just don't know how they do it. If they find a way to do it, if they find a way to stop Wemby and they figure something out that nobody else has been able to figure out, they're going to roll the Spurs. But I just don't know who's doing that right now. So I'd have to lean Spurs. Although if the Knicks come out and win game one, I think it's over. I think if they come out and win game one and they are able to hold Wemby under like 30 points and kind of everybody else doesn't step up the way they have all season, then I think the Knicks are going to win. Unfortunately, I just don't see that happening. So I think the Spurs are going to get it done, and we'll be in for a long ride as the Spurs being the best team in the NBA for a while.
Yeah, I think you both pose valid questions about who's going to guard Wemby, and I think my question to you all is who's going to stop Jalen Brunson?
I don't think they
Uh,
will.
Buddy's assertion he can't be the best player on a championship team is absolutely wrong. I think the Knicks have been, at least rating wise, the best offensive team, the best defensive team in the playoffs, right? I mean, they have just been the best team in the NBA playoffs so far. Okay. And let's talk about what Jalen Brunson is doing. Let's talk about what the New York Knicks are doing. Okay, they're not only bringing down crime, okay, but those three-pointers are going down too. Best three-point team in the playoffs. I mean, they are affecting New York City. They are so great. Okay, they're going to be affecting the alien too. They're going to be affecting the alien too. And my X factor for the series is Cat. Okay, in a couple of the games against Wimby, the two regular season games, he averaged 5 fouls. When they lost, he fouled out. When they did not lose, he was able to stay in the game. Okay. Cat needs to stay on the floor and stretch the floor. They need to bring Wimby out of the paint, and Cat has to hit his threes. Cat has to hit his threes. I mean, he's an 3-point shooter. He's not bad. He's not great. It just depends. But if Cat can bring Wimby out of the paint, they're going to be in trouble. For me, it's just Wemby can score 40 points every night, and the Knicks can still win in 5 games. They're not going to, obviously, but they still could because they shoot the three ball so well. Everyone on their team scores, and Wemby can only do so much. Okay. And for me, the Spurs are going to keep starting De'Aaron Fox. They're going to regret it and change it by game 6, and it's going to be too late. So I think the Knicks are going to win in 7 games. I think they have the better overall team. And I don't think this it's just too soon for the Spurs. It's just I don't really trust a lot of them in late fourth quarter situations, which I would against Wimby. And honestly, Josh, I think the Spurs are going to get run out of the stadium in game 1. I mean, it's not their fault that they had to play
I
in a
think if
much
they
tougher.
lose game one, it's over. They need to win
Well,
game one.
I don't think
then it will
so.
be.
I think
I
they
could
do.
totally see the Knicks winning game one and the Spurs
I
responding.
think I think they need to win game one because I think if they win game one, it's going to mean they terrorized Wemby. And I think maybe Wemby will respond, but I think they have something up their sleeve for him. I still will pick the Spurs, but I do think the Knicks have something coming for him.
They
I think
will.
it's going 7.
7.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but
I think it's going to be a great series.
I think it will
yeah,
be a great series. I think every game will be competitive. I don't see many blowouts happening. Um, but just
I
the,
also think the Spurs are tired
they are
and
tired.
yes.
the Knicks have rested for a week and a half.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't
that's
think
going to
Mitchell
be something to
Robinson's
watch.
injury is going to come into play at all?
He's gonna need to play.
Yeah.
He's gonna need to be one of those Wemby guys. So he's a big factor. But honestly, if he's just on the court for defense and can do anything against Wemby, I think he earns all of his value in that series. I don't think they need him to score.
The only way I see the Knicks winning is if Annie Hathaway travels to San Antonio, puts on her
If
OG jersey, and he drops 35 again. I mean, I just don't see it happen.
OG drops 35 in a game, they will win that game.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a great series because you're right. The Spurs, they're so young, and it's a really interesting case study because I don't know the last superstar that was as young as Wemby that won a title this early. I honestly don't know. I mean, even some of the greats, Curry had to, slowly build with his team. LeBron
Tim
had to slowly
Duncan
build with his team.
is the last
Yeah,
one. 22
yeah.
years old. Tim Duncan.
It's just not normal. This is not normal.
Mm-mm.
It's not normal, but I agree. I think it's gonna be a hell of a series. It's gonna be a
It's gonna
hell
be a
of a
hell of a
series. But
series, boys. Tune into the game Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in to our first episode of Sandbox Sports, and we'll be back.